Today we got Beverly with us, and she's from Montgomery, Alabama.
Good morning.
So tell us about, we always hear about Martin Luther and his history in that area. What could you add to us?
Well, the only thing I can tell you, because when he was around his time, I was a little girl. And so I remember certain things about him. I know that before the Montgomery bus boycott was I think it was in 56 or something, but my mom was one of the drivers that she volunteered to drive her car to help African Americans, black in that time, get to and from work. And one of the things, she was like the taxi driver, and one of the things she shared was that she was afraid because, at that time they didn't have air conditioning in their cars, so they had to ride with the windows down. And she said that there would be like a car full of white people passing by, and they were so mean and dirty that they were spitting on them and spitting at the car, and then they would take a snake and throw it into the car and all. So there was all of it is to stop the blacks for doing what they're doing, stop the movement.
You mean going to work or?
Going to just to stop the whole thing with the cab drive, the ones that volunteered to help. It was just to stop them from taking others to work or taking to and from, because with the bus boycott, they decided nobody riding the bus. That was with Rosa Parks sitting on the bus, and they taking her out, so they decided to stop riding the bus. They met at a church called Host Street Baptist Church in Montgomery. Host Street the church is still there, but it's abandoned right now. They're going to refurbish it and make it a historical site. But that was where they met at that time at Host Street Baptist Church to make the plans for the movement, to get together, to motivate the people to keep going, going on.
Did they have a name for that movement at the time?
The Montgomery Bus Boycott Movement.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. And so you yourself, you have memories of?
Not the movement, because I wasn't born, but I do have memories of the Selma to Montgomery March, where that was the civil rights trying to get allow blacks to vote in those days at that time. So I remember them going from Selma, Alabama to Montgomery, Alabama. That's a 65-mile walk, but it was a long walk.
65 miles?
65 miles.
People walk that?
People walked that. That was another movement, and I remember them walking through our neighborhood, singing on the street. Singing "We Shall Overcome," singing motivational Christian songs, and then they camped out on a site called St. Jude Elementary, St. Jude Parish, and it was elementary, high school, the hospital, and the church, and that's where they camped out until the next day they went up to the Capitol in Montgomery.
I know this is an unusual question, but were there any white people in the march?
Yes, there were whites in the march. If you watch, it's The Long Walk Home by Whoopi Goldberg, and that talks about the movement as well. But yes, there were whites that were involved in the march, actively involved.
Well, Beverly, just shooting for a little clip here. I mean, you make it so personal. It just comes alive when you talk about it. It's like it's coming out of your bones when you talk about it.
Yeah, I make it that way because that's the way my mom, that's what she told us and everything. And that's what I remember and everything. So when you're doing history, you have to put yourself in that place and say, well, when this took place, where would I be although I wasn't born? Where would you be in that point of history?
All right, we're going to do some more, maybe some other time, but really appreciate you, giving this short little interview. It's nearly 4.5 minutes, so
wow, thank you.